on Sports Den. Excited to recap how our teams have been doing because postseason has certainly been bringing the heat. I'm Blythe Whaley alongside my broadcast partner Matt Dean. And like I said, postseason on our airwaves has been truly fun to watch.
Absolutely. We had a Centennial girls basketball program that we're playing for a trip to the state tournament last week. We'll catch you up on that girls side of the tournament. The boys section playoffs a little bit behind. We have some spots to state on the line coming up this week, so we'll catch you all up on those Section 7 4A playoffs where you, of course, have Blaine and Centennial of note in those groups. And we don't forget about hockey. State tournament's over, but we've got some great seasons by a couple of our area schools. 4 guests on the show today. The youth movement, really a big storyline. We've got 3 non-seniors in the building as well, too. A couple representatives from Blaine boys hockey and 2 from Centennial SLP girls hockey coming off that state tournament run. Should be fun.
Oh yeah, always love when we have players in studio, but we got to get cracking. Let's take a look at how the ladies hoops happened last week in the Class 4A Section 7 championship. The 2-seed Centennial Cougars faced off against the top seed Anoka Tornadoes. Getting things started early, Sydney Schmidt splashes in a triple, but Anoka answers back. Freaking screen opens up a Pedersen, top of the key 3, Anoka up by 1. This one stays tight. Kayun with a shot fake and drive, finishes underneath, draws the foul, Anoka keeping pace. But Centennial's Autumn McCall, a smooth step back 3, puts the Cougars back on top 14-11. Ball movement for Anoka sets up Pedersen on the far side. Baseline triple pure. Tornadoes down by 2, and it's Pedersen again behind the 3-point line. The Anoka Tornadoes trail by 3 at the break, but the second half the dogfight continues, and Kayun up for the challenge, sinking the 3 on the right wing. Tornadoes move it around the horn to Frecking, and a right wing 3, nothing but net. Anoka up late, but Centennial Sydney Schmitz isn't backing down. The drive leads to the reverse lay-in and tied once again. Then Kayun proving why you can't leave her open on the wing, draining it. Part of her 15-point performance, making Centennial pay. But senior Autumn McCall with a clutch moment late. Shot fake drive, gets the and one. Cougar fans loving it. But take a look at that time, 3.3 seconds on the clock. Shot up, and it's good. The buzzer beater, putting Tornadoes up 47-44. Quite the finish. Unbelievable composure from Pedersen. Anoka's heading to the state tournament. As we take a look at that bracket, of course, Centennial Cougar fans, a bummer to see their season end that way, but the Anoka Tornadoes will be moving on. You saw them have to get past Andover and, of course, got that bye since they're the #1 seed. You see how the Blaine Bengals finished off their season there against Andover. So some fun matchups, some close ones.
Yeah, I mean, great run for the Cougars, tough way for the season to end, and you mentioned only 2 wins necessary for the Tornadoes, the top seed, to move on, but the Cougars made it really tough on them, and we've had 3 different section champions in this section following a 4-year winning streak of that dominance by the Cougars. And Anoka, they were the top seed in the girls tournament. The road to the state tournament also runs through Anoka on the boys side as we go to the 2-seed Blaine hosting the 7-seed Duluth East from last Wednesday in the quarterfinals. Senior David Diamond with a 3-pointer broke a 6-all tie early. Braden Bement, the Bengals lament, leaving that guy open in the corner. 15-15, 8.5 to play first half. Blaine Jr. Shiloh Ayiti never looks like he's in a rush out there. Strides into a smooth 3-pointer. He had 11 at the half, including Nano Gimta. He would hit double figures before the break, opened up the largest lead of the game so far, but the Hounds would continue to find Bement on the perimeter. Second 3 off the bench and long-range shooting, keeping the Greyhounds in it. Aaron Bonner, 0 points in the first 14.5 minutes. He'd finished with 7 in 3.5 down the stretch. Diamond's second 3 of the half made it a 37-29 Bengal lead at the break. Nano Gimta, like Naginta, a Japanese samurai sword, both are sharp shooter. I don't know, I'm still workshopping that. Right-handed hook shot here by Ayiti and 1. back to a double-digit lead for Blaine. Every time it seemed like Blaine were going to pull away, Duluth East hit a big shot to stay in it. Sophomore Caden Meyer there. Diamond, he's no longer a diamond in the rough. Everybody knows about this guy. His third varsity season. He's hooping. And Bement, though, would continue to pop off for Duluth East. Another three, and he provided some big production off the bench. They'd get to their leading scorer, Ty Nyberg, going late, but it's too little too late. Gimta, Ayeti, Diamond, all with 20+. Blaine hits their free throws down the stretch. They're on to the semis.
Practice, we run every single practice, so when we step on the floor, we're more conditioned than the team. So it's really the effort. Our defense plays into our effort and how we work at practice, and we just run teams off the floor most of the times. When they're gassed, we're going 100%.
It's paying off. You guys are within 2 points per game of the scoring from last year, and you're giving up less than 12 fewer points than last season too. So really paying off for you guys. This was a 2 versus 7 seed matchup, but it feels like this section is pretty even. There's a lot of tough teams that are close. What did you guys talk about that you had to worry about for this Duluth East team? Not be overconfident having beaten them before this season.
Well, we know coming into sections, we're going to get every team's best game. Every team wants to win. Nobody wants to go home, especially Duluth East with a lot of seniors. So we just come in, we give it our best game, and we come out on top, 2 seed versus 7 seed.
I think it's a big thing. For the past maybe 2-3 years, we haven't gotten out the first round. And mentally, I think we were all locked in, trying to get the win and finish the job.
What was working for you guys tonight? A lot of easy buckets, like all 3 of you to get to 20. You had a lot in transition where you were clean right to the rim. What was working for you guys to get those easy looks?
I think we play very fast and very aggressive, so we get down the court very fast. We pass the ball to each other, and we get pretty easy layups off of reversals.
Big win for the program. The Blaine Bengals snapping a 4-year drought in the postseason without a quarterfinal win, and they take it over Duluth East 81-66. Great, real stepping stone in the program for the first-year head coach Bernie Ward and his team. How about 67 of the 81 points coming from 3 players: Nano Gimta, Shiloh Ayeti, David Diamond, a couple of seniors, and a junior sandwiched in between. Blaine shooting better than 60% from the field in this one. They hit 5 timely threes, and they looked like the 2 seed in the section tournament. They would move on to the semifinals. Who would they meet? Blythe will catch you up on that.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. The 3 seed Centennial Cougars taking on the 6 seed Forest Lake Rangers in the quarterfinals. Buckle up, everyone. This one is a ride. Tristan Hansen working it in the lane, showing off the footwork and the spin moves for 2. Get things going. But Sorensen gets it going from distance, lets this one fly over the defender, count it for 3. The Cougars crash the boards to set up some second chance points as they kick it out to Hansen on the top. But Forest Lake answers back. Westman with the vision over to Kari on the far side, triple. Jackson Dreesen driving and kicking over to Hansen to get another 3 from 3-point land. Durgu with the pick, strips. Hansen taking it on himself, absorbs the contact and 1. Cougars moving the rock well. Hosfield the drive, dishing to Carlin on the baseline splash. Another 3 for Centennial. They're coming all the time, but Hansen calling his own number, driving, taking the hit and finishes, plus the foul. Tristan Hansen putting his team on his back. Rangers not backing down. Dillard putting down the top of the key 3, and Calvin with the jab step, rising up 3, going down. Centennial heating up from distance. Hosfield attacking, gets to the rim with the lay-in. It's good. Forest Lake Sorensen's left wing rainbow 3, pure. Cougars respond here as Johnson finds out the bank stayed open late for him. He cashes out for 3. And as this one continues, Rangers, Johnson dishes to Westfield, catch and shoot, yes. They're refusing to go away. Forest Lake staying in it. Carlin shot off the mark, but Espinoza right there at the right time to put it back in traffic. Cougars looking to ice it. Johnson, top of the key 3, bangs it home. The Cougars advance to the semifinals here, 62-51.
So just like the North Metro scriptwriters drew it up, we have a cat clash in the section final. The 2-seed Blaine and the 3-seed Centennial playing on a neutral floor in Anoka. We have Jackson Dreesen opening up the scoring for Centennial after 2 minutes of an over. This is the semifinal matchup in Section 7. Nano Ginta, a clean stroke from downtown. Blaine tying it up from downtown Anoka with that 3. Gimta from the same spot ahead of the Centennial bench. That's not a replay, that's cash. 1 possession game, 6:30 to play, first half. Tristan Hansen slaps some skin on that one. A-plus hype man energy from the student manager over there. Gimta, he kept it going from deep. Cougars doing a nice job keeping number 5 out of the paint. And then Ty Buffo, 1 point in the quarterfinals for a 14-a-game score. He drops one in from deep. Neither team led by more than 5 in this one. Second half, Buffo, a 3-pointer from the senior to make it a 2-point game. Bengals looking for the lead. Tula Gimta, Lil Bro goes splash. And the Bengals take command. Cougars would retake the lead by 1. 4 minutes left to go. Hansen, the big man, can shoot. The seesaw swings again. We would go to overtime. Cougars by 1. Gimta double. Buffo the shot. Hits it. Blaine lead by 2. 90 seconds to go. Max Johnson, look at the stutter here. Double blow by the Bengal D. Cougars tie it up 56 all. Centennial hits the free throws down the stretch to win it. Here's how that Section 7 4A tournament closed out here in this one. We had that cat clash in the section semifinals. It was a monster game from Tristan Hansen, who finished with 19 second half points and a game high 24 to lead the way for the Cougars. Impressive win for Centennial. They were without their big man, Kellen Binder. He came in and tried to play for about a minute. He was sick, so he came out and sat out the rest of the day. Centennial without a good big man to kind of match up with Blaine. They still move on. Section final will be coming up on Thursday at 6 p.m. from Anoka High School. The 1-seed Anoka, the favorites in that one, but should be a good matchup with the Cougars. So that's it. You're all caught up in section hoops. When we return, we're going to put a capper on the high school hockey seasons. When we come back, I'll be gone. Grace Lager and Mia Such will be here. That's a good trade if you're trying to win a state championship. Blythe back with the Cougars next.
Good evening. We will call the City Council meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Time is 6:30 p.m. I'm calling to order the City of Centerville Council meeting.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the City of Circle Pines, Minnesota regular City Council meeting.
Take your City Council anywhere.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ham Lake City Council meeting.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, Bill.
Lake Park City Council meeting's not called to order.
Subscribe to your city podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
North Metro TV, your source for great local programming, is now available on Apple TV and Roku devices. Our free app allows you to stream all of our channels live. You'll also have access to an on-demand library, including weekly newscasts, sporting events, and city meetings. To find us, go to the App Store and search North Metro TV. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. North Metro TV, now available on Apple TV and Roku.
Lino Lakes is the gateway to the metro area, just minutes north of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Conveniently located on I-35W, this growing city still maintains its North Country feel. Lino Lakes is a safe, fun, and affordable community that values its award-winning schools. Outdoor lovers will discover miles of hiking, biking, and water trails. Growing businesses will find premier development opportunities with great freeway visibility and ready to help your businesses grow. Come to live, work, and play in Lino Lakes.
The past comes alive at North Metro TV, where we can help you transfer your old videotapes, films, cassette tapes, record albums, and even photographs and slides to DVD and digital so you can enjoy them again. North Metro TV, bringing the past to life.
When you're talking. And we are back here on Sports Den. Our special guest next to me, Grace Lager and Mia Such. Thanks so much for being here with me. This is fun.
Yeah.
And ladies, of course, underclassmen. So it's always neat when we get some underclassmen on our airwaves, especially just to promote how awesome you've been doing. We have to first start with you, Grace. It's your sophomore season, and you did so tremendous. Goals, assists, putting it in. How do you manage being a leader on your team while yet still being an underclassman yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I am an underclassman, but it is my 4th year on the team, so I know all the girls really well now, and all the younger girls going up know me, and so it's just, like Tegan, she's a senior, but I started playing her first year as my first year, so we're all just super close, and I think like freshman or senior, like we all just kind of combine and come together as one.
Yeah. And of course, Mia, you also are an underclassman, just a freshman here on the team, but of course, the team's leading goal scorer, we can't say that you're playing like a freshman at all. What has been throughout the season, maybe some of the challenging parts of being an underclassman but yet performing at that level?
I think just making sure I'm not playing down to any of my teammates' levels, just always staying positive and just making sure that like I shine and also just help my team. I know it's hard to score that many goals in a season, but with such great line mates like Tegan and Grace, it's definitely possible to get a pass and put it in.
Yeah, and just for everyone who doesn't know, 32 goals on the season, very impressive, Mia. But Grace, I want to dig in and talk about, of course, like you said, this isn't your first rodeo. You were on that team last season that wasn't able to make it into state, and this season you got past Maple Grove, the team that stunted last year. Take me back to those feelings that you had when you really realized you were going to be stepping into the state tournament again.
Yeah, it's great. I remember my first year was in 8th grade, and I tied the game against Tonka, and it was like a pass from Lauren, and it was her last year, and she would always drive me to everything, and she was the best. So that was just a really special moment for me. So, and the X, like there's just no rank, like it's the best place ever. So I was super excited to, get back there and play in the X again.
Yeah, and Mia, of course, we can't talk about you being a freshman enough, but I'll stop using that word because you still have so many years ahead of you. What has been the expectations? I'm sure you maybe exceeded them for yourself, but what levels are you putting on yourself here for the years to come? What do you want to accomplish when you're done playing hockey at the high school level?
I think I look up to so many of my teammates, like Tegan, she's going D1. I want to be there. Grace, in the future, will go D1, and I always try and keep up with them, just every day showing up and putting in the effort to try and show coaches that I am good enough to play D1, and just getting there would be so special and so cool.
And it's neat to be able to have conversations like that with both of you being such high-performing players, because Grace, I also want to ask you on just your hockey aspirations, even beyond. I know you're just the sophomore you are, but still I'm sure your brain is pondering what that's going to look like after high school.
Yeah, it's definitely always been a dream. I mean, now with the PWHL too, that's like newer, but ever since you're little, it's kind of like D1's kind of been like the big deal. That's where everyone wants to go, and I have a lot of friends that play, and it just looks so fun, and just like a bigger stage, more competitive, just so great.
Well, something personally, I want both of you to answer in somewhat a rapid fashion form. Do you have a pump-up song? I know some people maybe want to think about what they're putting on their playlist next year that's going to help them have this type of performance. Do you ladies have a song that you listen to always?
I don't know if mine's appropriate.
You can go to a mantra if you want, or like a saying or anything that you say to yourself.
I feel like any song that just we can dance to in the locker room, that's kind of our go-to.
Yeah.
Anything that gets us up on our feet, dancing or just like singing, even anything by like Rihanna.
Yeah.
That just gets us up and going.
Well, ladies, I'll for sure have Rihanna on my playlist next season as we go into our games. Thanks so much for being here, and hats off to you on a tremendous season. Looking forward to next year.
Thank you.
Everyone, we will be back in studio. Our boys hockey, Matt Dean, going to be conducting that interview with our athletes after this. Thanks so much.
We in Spring Lake Park believe in building a strong and safe community. Our city moves onward and upward while holding on to our traditions and roots. We maintain a small town feel even though we are nestled next to the big city. We believe in being good neighbors and building community with safe neighborhoods. And we believe in citizenry and promote being active both physically and socially. We in Spring Lake Park love to play and believe in having an abundance of parks, playgrounds, and green space so that everyone can take a moment to enjoy the natural beauty that surrounds us. We believe in educating our children well, so we use the most advanced tools of learning to ensure continued success and bright futures. We promote athletics to keep our children fit and healthy and build a sense of teamwork. We in Spring Lake Park believe in providing a good, stable home for industry and small business to thrive. We have a large variety of successful businesses that have found continued success and benefit from excellent visibility off Highway 65. And a large customer base, as we are located only 15 minutes outside of downtown Minneapolis. Come visit us in Spring Lake Park, and you will see why we believe our city is one of a kind.
Lino Lakes is the gateway to the metro area, just minutes north of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Conveniently located on I-35W, this growing city still maintains its North Country feel. Lino Lakes is a safe, fun, and affordable community that values its award-winning schools. Outdoor lovers will discover miles of hiking, biking, and water trails. Growing businesses will find premier development opportunities with great freeway visibility and ready to help your businesses grow. Come to live, work, and play in Lino Lakes.
An apple core or potato peels. That leftover pizza you promised you'd eat.
Ew!
Those dirty napkins and paper towels.
Stop treating us like garbage.
Did you know up to 30% of what you're throwing away could be composted? Composting gives your discards new life, which can be used to improve soil. To learn more about the new organics drop-off programs available throughout the county and get your free starter kit, go to anokacounty.us/organics.
Welcome back into Sports Den here one final time. We're here in studio in Blaine with the boys in blue, the Blaine Bengals boys hockey team, as we put a capper here on the high school season around the North Metro area. Blaine are coming off a 17-10 season. Nice winning campaign for the Bengals and an 11-win improvement over last year. Our two guests, we have senior goalie Landon Palmgren and junior forward Franklin Liu. Thanks for being here, guys. Landon, I'm going to start with you as the senior, only senior we got today. We got every grade represented between you guys and the Cougars. You guys had a tough season a couple years ago. You guys were both part of that. An 11-win improvement this year. I know on paper you guys were excited about the season because of all the young talent you had coming up. A ton of freshmen and sophomores, basically close to 20 of them came into the program between JV and varsity. Why were you guys so excited coming into the year knowing it was going to be different?
Obviously we knew the Bantam team last year was pretty good, so we knew especially some of the kids like Porter Bear, Brody Lockman. So I knew some of the young kids were going to be really good and a big part of why this team was going to be good and for their future. And then we just knew, obviously, we had a younger team this year, not a ton of seniors, but So just super excited about that part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Franklin, your second varsity season as well, too. You played some as a sophomore, 13 goals this year, 16 assists. You and Wilson Guzzi shared the team lead in points. You guys had a really balanced offense, though. You and Wilson were kind of the top 2 scorers, but 5 guys with 20-plus points. You had a couple of guys that were just shy of that mark as well, too. How big of a difference does that make when you've got an offense that it's got 2 legit scoring lines? And I imagine you guys had kind of a grinding third line that could shut a lot of other teams' lines down as well.
Yeah, it was a great benefit to us because we knew we can play a bunch of lines and rotate other guys into different places where we needed them. And it was great because we knew if one line was playing bad, the other line would be playing good. So it was good to rotate them out in and out, and we'd have a good game no matter what.
Absolutely. And defensively, I mean, Landon, I got to imagine you guys were much improved to have that 11-win improvement. It doesn't all come from guys like Frankie scoring goals. On the back end, your numbers overall improving a lot. 930-plus save percentage, goals against average was under 2.3. And I know goalie stats are team stats. We talked about it a little bit before the show. So how did your personal improvement and just the guys you had ahead of you work together so well as a unit on the back end?
You know, it was a big mental game changer for me this year. I was just so much more confident, and I think part of that stemmed from just I knew my D, I could trust in them, believe in them. I mean, all of them just played so good this year, so I think that helped definitely a lot. And then just game in and game out, they played well for me, so it was easier for my numbers to go up from last year. Obviously, they went up quite a bit. But then, yeah, I was playing pretty good, especially in the middle of the season. I stayed consistent.
I'm sure, Frank, you would agree with me. Like, you guys played more confident knowing you had him back there as well behind you this year, too. Let's talk some of the highlights from the season. I'm going to guess and take a stab here that beating Centennial twice, Frankie, was one of the highlights of the season for you guys.
Oh, yeah, it's been a big rivalry since young. So we knew that it was going to be a tough game, but that first win, winning big time over them, really brought good confidence to us. And then going into the second game, it was way closer. And it was just good to pop 2 on them and Landon put a shutout on them, and it was great.
Landon, too, I mean, taking us to the playoffs. You guys lost to Totino Grace about a month before in the regular season. Had you guys won that game, you probably get to host them at Fogarty. Instead, you go on the road as the 5 seed. You flipped that result, a 5-2 win after losing in a 1-goal game. How big was that for your guys' season to get a nice section win and move on?
That was really cool. It was a big win. And when we played them the first time, I didn't play. I was actually injured. And it was fun to just go in and it was 1-1 going into the third period, and we just popped 3 goals in right away. And that was cool. As soon as we did that, I'm like, we won. And I was just so happy. And it was cool to beat a team like that.
And then in the next round of the playoffs, Frankie, if you can take this one, Rogers, they end up kind of pulling away in the end, but it was 1-0 at the end of one. You guys tied it up early, and Landon made 52 saves in that game. You guys were hanging around with one of the best teams in the state. What was that like at Furniture and Things?
That was awesome. That was just a great experience for us. I mean, having that experience that we were able to play with one of the top teams in the state, and knowing that we had Landon back there saving us half the time, or 75% of the time.
All right, it should be a fun year next year. Landon's moving on. He is going to be looking for some junior hockey opportunities with a great season he just had. Franklin will be back, and Blaine, that youth movement continuing next season should be fun to watch. Thanks to all of our guests, Franklin Liu, Landon Palmgren, our 2 guests from Centennial Spring Lake Park Girls. From Ted LaRue and our entire crew, we're signing out here on Sports Den. I'm Matt Dean, my partner Blythe Whaley today. This has been another winter wrap-up edition of Sports Den.